Sam Altman and Larry Ellison just made a powerful chess move. While the financial media is focused on the stock surge, they're focused on Larry Ellison being the richest person in the world, the reality is a massive, massive change has just happened on the chessboard. That is the race to superintelligence, the race to AGI. What is another interesting point is that this massive move, this development, the $300+ billion compute deal between Oracle and OpenAI was predictable. And I'm going to share with you 7 reasons why it was predictable. All of us with exposure to the stock market should be paying attention to this. We should be paying attention to this because if it affects corporate America, then it affects the stock market. And that's why it's important to us. You see, the board has just changed. Meta, Amazon, Google, XAI, Anthropic, Microsoft, all of them now have to rethink their strategies, their place on the board because of this massive deal. Let's get into the 7 reasons why this was predictable. 1, CapEx has been morphing as Oracle has been getting into position to be able to secure deals like they just did. 2, leadership has been signaling, has been saying explicitly that demand far exceeded supply, and they were expecting more deals to continue. 3, we have early wins. The business's backlog of deals related to providing compute for AI has only been increasing. And 4, you have leadership across the board from Jensen from NVIDIA showing that the compute necessary for AI usage is far greater than the compute necessary for AI training. And we can see that as the models are getting smarter, using advanced reasoning, using multi-step reasoning, that the compute required increases more than an order of magnitude.
It's an enormously complex and expensive process. We are putting a huge amount of work into building out as much compute as we can and to do it fast. And, it's going to be like sad because GPT-5 is going to launch and there's going to be another big spike in demand and we're not going to be able to serve it. And it's going to be like those early GPT-4 days. And the world just wants much more AI than we can currently deliver. And building more compute is an important part of doing that. This is what I expect to turn the majority of my attention to, is how we build compute at much greater scales. So how we go from millions to tens of millions and hundreds of millions, and eventually, hopefully, billions of GPUs that are sort of in service of what people want to do with this.
Additionally, the use of Agentic AI, which is the next wave of AI, is computationally intensive. This is why these AI firms are literally talking about bringing nuclear energy back into the world en masse. That is how much energy is needed to supply these companies with the compute that they need for AI at scale, not just training. Inference, which is using the AI. Those are 4 indicators, but there are 3 additional signals that combined create 7 signs that this spike was predictable. 5th, you have the fact that Stargate was announced. OpenAI, Oracle, they already told the world that they anticipate $500 billion of investments to support the next wave of AI infrastructure. The market clearly didn't listen. People didn't believe them. Look at the news stories at the time. Look at the market commentary. It was just unbelievable.
Stargate project, I think, is going to be something that's very special.
The number, $500 billion. Is that for real?
I don't think anybody thinks they're going to hit 500 billion. Maybe I will eat my words.
But now, later in the year, we see that they're serious. But of course they were serious. This wasn't just pomp and circumstance. You actually had shovels hitting the ground in Texas. They're building one of the largest campuses for data centers, AI-focused data centers in the world. They're serious. And so this is just the next stage. Additionally, you have OpenAI, which is a big spender, Sam Altman has said time and time again that they need more compute. They need more compute.
Look, I think compute is going to be the currency of the future. I think it will be maybe the most precious commodity in the world. And I think we should be investing heavily to make a lot more compute.
Additionally, he is a strategic mastermind. He is a product mastermind. And I'll talk about how this compute deal that they just made has created another moment for OpenAI where they're going to be head and shoulders ahead of the competition, which is only going to accelerate more advancement because these other firms are going to need to close the gap. Hence why I said in the beginning that the entire chessboard has just changed. But you have OpenAI, which has an abundance of cash, a ridiculously high valuation that's able to tap the capital markets to fund their expansions. So that's the sixth signal that this was predictable. A move of this scale, a deal of this scale was predictable. And lastly, Larry Ellison. Larry Ellison is a tech leader. He saw that his company was sitting on the sidelines for the AI boom. And he literally said that he was keen on getting Oracle into position to not be on the sideline, but to get right into the center of the competitive game that was being played. And you can never count Larry Ellison out. Oracle's PE is now at a level it hasn't seen since the dot-com boom. And then prior to that, it hasn't seen these levels since about 1993. And importantly, the stock has never been able to sustain this valuation level for more than a few months. I believe that there are ample reasons that Oracle is now going to be valued in a manner that it has never been valued. So I definitely think that that's a potential investment that is worth pursuing even after this massive boom in the stock.